Hey, brothers and sisters, Brother Matt, back with another message from the Lord. This message is a little different maybe from some of my normal stuff because it starts with a dream. This is something the Lord gave me this morning, January 22nd, 2024. I had this long dream, and then when I woke up from the dream, the Lord gave me words, and some of the words that he gave me definitely, I think, definitely seem to be the interpretation of this dream. In addition to some other things, I encourage you to stay till the end, watch the end, because there's things that are said at the very end that the Lord gave that really kind of speak to understanding what this dream was about. I also, just as a warning, this dream has some things in it that are not for all ears, and so especially like if you're a kid or you're watching this with your kids, it's probably better for this to be like adults only. I'll be as careful as I can in the way I describe things, of course, but I just want you to know that going into this. As always, I'm grateful for everybody here on the channel. I'm grateful for your prayers for me and for mine, and I pray for you also. If you have prayer requests, put them in the comment section so I can pray for you, so other people on the channel can pray for you. That's one of the things we can do for each other here in the community that we have here, and I'm grateful for you guys, and so I want you to know that's available to you. I also want you to know that this message and really everything I'm posting, I put on Substack, so you have the whole transcript and the cross references. I put footnotes in usually pretty much every time, and a lot of times the Substack comes out first. So if you want to get that, you can go over to the Substack, you can subscribe, and then it shows up in your email when I send it out, and you can get it that way. And I've been reposting the messages from the Passover to Pentecost series over on the Substack. That's also available in print and on Kindle. So if you want to have a printed copy of all that stuff, 52 days of messages, along with my notes and introduction, all that other stuff, if you wanted to have a copy of it in hand, you can get it there, or you can just read it on Substack, or you can watch the videos on YouTube. Either way is great. I just want to make it available to people who might want to have it that way. So that's there. There's a link in the description. There's a link to the Substack at the end of the video. Okay. So having said all of that stuff, let's get to it. January 22nd, 2024, like I said, started with a dream. In the dream, I was in a city. I felt like the city was Atlanta. That may just be because Atlanta is a city that I'm familiar with and that I know pretty well. But there were some things about it that made me think it was Atlanta. So I'm just putting that out there. It could just be, Dream City, or whatever, but felt like Atlanta to me. The first thing that I remember is that I was in this tall building, and I was running from people who were trying to kill me, and I had a companion with me. And in this was like actually a similar theme through the different stages of this dream, is that I had a companion. In this case, the person that was with me, who was also trying to escape these killers, was a woman, but it wasn't my wife. And so we're both trying to get away from somebody inside people inside the building that were trying to kill us. It was daytime outside, and the windows in this building were broken, and I could see outside, and there was a hillside, and on the hillside I saw soldiers, and the soldiers were dressed in brown. They were wearing, they had like hoods on, and they had, their faces seemed obscured by some kind of masks, but they had rifles, and they were moving in a line, and they were just steadily moving forward. And as they would move forward, suddenly they would kneel and they would shoot. And sometimes when they would shoot, the bullets would come into the building that I was in. And so that was another danger, was to avoid, these bullets and the broken glass and things like that. So I'm in this building, and inside the building, there were people trying to harm me and harm the person, this companion that was with me. And I got attacked by this man. And at first I thought that he had a gun in his hand. And so we were wrestling, and I wrestled with him, and we're both on the ground. And I realized that what he has is not a gun, it was a drill, like a power drill. and he was, pulling the trigger on the drill, and it was kind of cutting into me. And so as I'm wrestling with him, finally I got control of the drill and control over him, and I killed him. And I knew in the dream, I knew that if I didn't kill him, he was going to kill me. And so it's like I had to kill him to stay alive. And it was horrible and violent, and I felt totally distraught by it. But I also knew that I had to keep running, or someone else was going to catch me. And so as I ran, I lost this woman companion. I don't know what happened to her, but I knew that I couldn't go back. I knew that I couldn't go back for her. I had to keep going to stay safe. And then the scene changed. And when the scene changed, then I was in another building, and this building was like, I don't know if it was a hospital or if it was an office building that had some kind of a clinic in it, but there was like a medical clinic part of this building, and there were also like dormitories with beds in them. And so in this hospital place, I had new companions. In this case, I had two other companions, men, that somehow I was connected to. Like I felt like they were like office colleagues, people that I knew. And one of them was injured or something. And so he was in the clinic, and they were giving him fluids, and they were giving him intravenous like injections and stuff. And there were several other people that were in there. Well, when he came out, he was like totally energetic, and his eyes were like extremely dilated. He almost looked like he had been given some sort of like a powerful narcotic or something. But he seemed totally rejuvenated and energized. But he also seemed, kind of like he was on drugs or something. And so the three of us went into this dormitory where there were all these bunk beds, and that was, I guess, where we were staying. And so we sat down in this area with the bunk beds, and we noticed that some other people had come and put their stuff there. And so as we're sitting there trying to figure out what's going on, we realized like there's other people that are coming in, staying in this, sleeping space, in this bunk space where we have been staying. And I noticed that there is a spiral notebook on the bed, and I opened the spiral notebook, and it has like a woman or a girl's handwriting in it, but it's a code. And I knew it was like page after page of military codes. And some of them looked like graphs, and they had different dots on it. But I knew that it was like classified information, like not something I was supposed to see, and yet it was there on the bed. Well, so suddenly this girl, this younger woman, comes into the space where we are, and she's like gathering her stuff. It's her stuff. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'll get my stuff out of the way." And then she says, "Did you see what happened at the Ritz?" And, I understood she was talking about the Ritz-Carlton hotel. And we said, "No, what happened?" And she's like, she was really excited about it and really wanted us to see it. And she's like, "Oh, you have to turn on the TV so you can see what's happening at the Ritz." And so she turns on the TV, and on the screen is this really terrible depravity that's going on at this hotel on the street, just like out in the street and in the lobby and all around. And it's like a terrible, perverse, depraved celebration that's going on. And this woman is so excited about what's happening, and she wants us to be excited about it too. And, just total depravity. And I said to my colleague, I said, "We have to get out of here." Because we knew somehow that this hotel was like next door to wherever we were. I think that was, part of the thing. We knew it was really close to us. And so we needed to get away. And And so we kind of had this goal to escape from this situation. And on the TV, somehow we could see another colleague, somebody else that we knew, who was down there by the Ritz where this was happening. And he was standing there and he was watching, and he was so happy, like pleased by what he was seeing. And so the three of us were upset by this, and we're like, we have to go get him. We got to get him out of there. You know, we have to try to save him. And he's just sitting there watching all these terrible things play out. And he's so happy, so satisfied by it all. And so then it becomes this mission of like, we got to get out of here, but we're also going to try to get this person. So then the scene transitions again. And now I'm in a room with glass windows and there's curtains. And it's like, it reminded me of a mall, being inside of a, like an unfinished shop inside of a shopping mall or something. And I felt that I just had the sense, I guess, that I was in the same building where the hotel was, that the hotel was on a lower floor and that the mall was up above. I don't know in the US if we have that situation, but overseas they have lots of places where it's like a hotel on the bottom couple of floors and a mall on the upper floors, or they're connected somehow. And so in this room, I have like a slight feeling of safety, like I'm separated from what's going on in the mall, and I'm packing bags. I'm like packing suitcases, and I'm trying to get all my stuff together. And suddenly I kind of realized, like, how am I going to get these suitcases out through all this chaos that's going on in the street? Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm trying to save clothing or, just little things, that belong to me. It seems so, like, all of a sudden I just realized how foolish it was that I'm sitting here packing bags when I like need to preserve my life. And, one of the things that I grabbed and that I was sticking in my bag were silver bars, like little thin bars of silver. And I thought, I need these so I can have some way to trade when I get out of here. Which is kind of interesting now that I think about it, that was a component. So, I go out of this room in the mall to do something. My intention was not to leave the room, to not come back to it. But when I went out, I got turned around and I couldn't find my way back. And I realized that I was totally exposed. And there's all these other people in the mall. And I see this man coming up towards me. And I realized that if I am not with them, these other people that are partaking in the things that are going on, then I am a target to them. And that's why people have been trying to kill me before, because they know that I'm not with them. And so I see this person coming up to me, has something in his hand. And when I see him, I realize I have to pretend that I am with them, or this person is going to try to kill me. And then I'm going to have to fight him off. And so, he comes and he hands me something like a necklace. I don't know what that was. But I pretend to kind of approve of everything. And so I say to him, hey, did you see what's going on at the Ritz? Isn't that awesome? And that was enough that this man like let me pass. And so as I passed by him, I thought, from now on, I'm going to have to put this face on whenever I'm in public to pretend that I am in agreement with all of these terrible things that are going on all around, murder and rape and perversity and everything else. Like, I'm going to have to pretend that I agree in order to be in public. And, it's like I was just like bracing myself for that reality. But this person was still watching me, like clearly didn't trust me. And I remember thinking, how far am I going to have to go to keep myself safe in this situation? So somehow I get down into the lobby, and in the lobby, there were these like big groups gathered in the lobby area. And I realized that there were tourists from another country that had come to this city. They were foreigners, and they had like concierge type people who were kind of organizing them and giving them directions. And so as I'm trying to pass through this group, and I remember that some of them looked very, they were kind of disturbing, or, kind of repulsive looking characters, I guess I should say. And as I passed through, one of the concierge people said, "Oh, are you, do you speak English? And, how can we help you? We want to get you, where you need to be or whatever." And they had these little, like in Asia, when a tour group goes somewhere, everybody has a sticker or a hat that they wear that identifies them as being a part of the group. And so they wanted to put this sticker on me that showed that I was a part of their group. And so I resisted that and just kind of passed through the group. And then that's when I finally got out onto the street. And when I got out onto the street, I had another companion. Remember I had, the lady the first time, and then I had two people upstairs in the building. And now I'm out on the street, and now I have one companion, and it's a man, and he's slightly overweight, and we're making our way down the street. And really the whole goal that both of us have now is to get out, to get out of the city. And the sense of sudden violence all around, and that depravity everywhere you looked, you couldn't look anywhere. And so me and this man are like trying to get away. And so we're on the street, and I'm thinking, the longer that we're on the street, the higher the chances that someone is going to hurt us. And so we have to find a way to get off the street or whatever. And we come to this corner gas station. I hope this doesn't seem super rambly. We come to this corner gas station, and there's buses pulling in, and people get off the buses, and they're all like those tourists in the hotel. They're being bussed in to participate in what's going on in the city. And these people get off the buses, and they are so excited for what they're going to get to do. Some of them get off, and they have like bats in their hands and weapons. And it's like they have come just to participate in this violence and depravity. And it's like a tour group, like tourism. And so as we pass through the gas station, the guy that I'm with has to go to the bathroom, and I have to go to the bathroom. And so it's like, we're just going to take this quick chance to try to go to the restroom. And as soon as I go into the bathroom, these two men come in there with me, and they have bats. And again, I have to fight for my life. I have to, somehow get the bat from one of the people, and, have to fight to get out. And so I manage to fight, and I get out alive. And then I see the companion, and the companion somehow has been tainted. And now he's become a part of what's going on. He's no longer with me. He's decided that he's going to stay. And so I'm just frantic to get out, and I see this vehicle, like this old van, and I get into it, and the keys are in there, and I'm like, I'm stealing this van. I'm going to get out of here. I have to do whatever I have to do. And I start the van, and I put it in reverse, and I'm trying to get out of the parking lot of the gas station before it gets worse. And I notice that there's a bumper sticker on the dashboard, and the bumper sticker says, basically, "Who is like the beast?" And that's when I guess I realized that it was like I was in Babylon. Like I had this sense, like this is Babylon. The vehicle was impossible to drive, and I crashed it, and I had to get out, and then I'm running again, just running for my life and being chased. Okay, so I know that took 20 minutes for me to tell the whole story. I'm sorry. That's when I woke up. And when I woke up, the Spirit of the Lord was on me. And this is what the Lord said. "What you have seen is the world without the restrainer. When the restraint is lifted, nothing will restrain sin in the hearts of men. Therefore, they will surrender to every instinct of their flesh. It will not be safe in your cities. There will be no safety. This is why they will hide themselves. This is why they will hide themselves. For even the mighty shall not be safe. Even the mighty shall not escape the spirit that has overtaken the world. Okay, so here I saw like a vision, like another image, and it was blood on the street, and blood like running down in the gutter, but like flowing up to the curve, like in a big rainstorm, where there's a huge current of water moving down a road. It was blood, and I saw a boot stomping in the blood, like pushing it down. And I thought, this is like the winepress of wrath that's described in Revelation 14. And then the Lord spoke again, and the Lord said, they will drink their fill. For the cup of my wrath shall be poured out in full measure upon them. So then the vision part continued, and I saw this army again, and soldiers on foot with rifles in hand, moving forward in formation in a singular line. Many of these soldiers are women, with hoods covering their heads and their faces, and brown uniforms. I knew that they were a foreign army, and I had the sense that they were an invasion army, that they had somehow invaded or entered the place that I was. But they did not discriminate as to who they would kill. They would kill everything, everyone. The line just continued to move forward. And as the line moved forward, anything that was in their path was wiped out. No one could surrender to them. No one could reason with them. They would kill everything in front of them. So then the Lord continues. Soon will the restraint be loosened. You have seen what comes after. This is their celebration. The new world remade in the image of their Father. A world of violence and depravity. They will celebrate, for you are gone. For they will think the world is theirs. They will believe themselves to be the inheritors. Even those who are opposed must appear to go along, for to stand against them in those days will mean certain death for you. I am he who was from the beginning, he who is now, he who is coming soon, the eternal one, the faithful one, Jesus, who took on flesh and dwelt among you, he who was born of the virgin womb, he who suffered on the cross for you, he whose blood was shed for the remission of your sin, he who breaks the chain, he whom death could not hold, he who was raised on the third day, he who ascended in the sight of many, he who shall surely return. The sword is in my hand, with which I shall slay my enemies before me. I ride forth to conquer. Abomination shall consume this world. Even the demons shall not fear to walk among you in that day, as in the days of Noah. Wickedness shall cover the earth. And here I said, times, and half a time. As for Babylon, her depravity shall be so great that the depraved of all nations shall flock to her. Heed this warning, O you peoples, if you would be saved from that day, if you would escape the terror of that day, come and hide yourselves in me. In me alone is the salvation for your soul. Repent and return to me. Turn from your sin and call on my name, the name above all names, the only name by which men are saved. That name, Jesus the Christ, Emmanuel, the God who is with you. He who suffered on the cross for you, call on his name, for by his stripes you are made clean. For without the shedding of blood, there is no remission of sin. Therefore I have given my blood even for you, that all who would call upon me might be saved. Might be cleansed. To all who call upon me, who believe and have trusted in my name, to them shall I give a stone with a new name written upon it, a robe of fine linen, and a place at my table, a room reserved for you in my Father's house. Come to me, O children, while there is yet time for you, for soon there shall be no time left. There is great darkness coming upon you, for the sun itself shall be hidden from you. For men loved darkness and hated the light. Therefore the light shall be taken from among you, and you shall be left to the darkness that you love. Then I saw a rider on a horse above the throng. It's like I saw the city from the dream again, and above the throng of people, above the crowd, I saw a rider on a red horse. And then the Lord said, for peace shall be taken from the earth. And then I saw the rider, and where the rider was standing, it was still daytime. But then there was a shadow that started to fall over the buildings, like passing over the buildings and leaving everything it passed in shadow. And then I saw the sun being consumed in an eclipse. So then the Lord continues and finishes with this. Tell them all you have seen, for some shall hear and flee from that coming day. Be assured, O my people, he who has the Son has life. He who does not have the Son does not have life. There is no fear for those who are in me, who make me their dwelling place, who sit in the shadow of the Most High. Their celebration is a mockery. It is a mockery of the marriage feast. It is the feast of the enemy's table, the cursed table. Oh, how they laugh. So, that's it. I know I've gone super long. I don't know if anybody's still with me, but if you made it this far, God bless you for making it this far. I know it's a lot. I don't know what to say. I just, the Lord gave it to me. He told me to share it with you guys, so here I am sharing it. So, bless you guys. And I'll be back if he gives me something else. So, talk to you later.